Erebor is in danger to defend the dwarf stronghold Berlin, and his 2,000 brave dwarfs march south of the Dale lands to intercept the army of 8,000 Easterlings. Berlin hoped to ambush and kill the Easterling army. If the dwarfs succeed in defeating the enemy on the outskirts of the Dale lands, Erebor will no longer be in danger. Berlin gathered under his banner many different divisions of the dwarfs. From miners armed with axes to veterans of the barrack guard, Berlin manages to reach the necessary positions where the dwarfs could arrange a quite successful ambush in the shade of the trees. The woodland and terrain will hide the dwarfs and give them the opportunity to suddenly strike at the column of Easterlings. The time has come. The Easterlings are close. The enemy led over 8,000 heavily equipped fighters, dozens of elite units. The dwarfs were hungry for battle and they were already itching to start the battle. With bated breath, they looked at the marching column of the enemy. If it weren't for Berlin, I'm afraid of the frantic spirit of the dwarfs, it would be unstoppable. Easterlings calmly marched without expecting any misfortune. The captain of the Easterlings could not imagine that the dwarfs would decide to leave Erebor. The hour has struck. Berlin gives the go-ahead to the archers and crossbowmen to fire. An enemy commander comes under fire. He quickly manages to hide behind an infantry column and speeds up the march of his army. After some time, the Easterlings find themselves under the attack of the dwarfs. A meat grinder is connected, the dwarfs and the Easterlings begin to crush each other. The dwarfs do not just fight with furious warriors. Berlin calls for the shock infantry, and the axemen come to the rear of the fighting warriors of the Easterlings. The attack in the back crushed the enemy units. Now everything depends on the skills of the dwarven warriors. While the battle was going on, the dwarfs were clearly gaining the upper hand. An even greater threat looms behind the location of the ball. More than 8,000 orcs of Gulda were approaching the battle site. Berlin could not foresee the blow to the rear and the reinforcements of the enemy. Berlin does not have time to regroup the fighting units. The orcs of Dol Gulda at full speed crash into the rear of the fighting dwarfs and split the single line of the Berlin army. The orcs of Dol Gulda overran the positions of several dwarven divisions and continued to envelop the fighting Berlin fighters from all fronts. Berlin, seeing the chaos of the battle and complete confusion in the ranks of the dwarven units, decides to personally rush into battle together with the rifle squads, which have already run out of ammunition. Berlin and his detachment manage to pull half of the orcs on themselves, which gives the opportunity for the broken units of gnomes to regroup. Dwarfs fought with orcs and Easterlings for a long time. Almost nothing remained of the Easterlings, many of the people died or fled. The dwarfs have lost 1,500 fighters out of 2,000. The orcs remain no more than 4,000. The dwarfs are fighting with their last strength. Berlin is wounded in the shoulder, but continues to fight together with his valiant fighters.